Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Rabbi Raskas hot take. This day, we are in the time between Yom Kippur and Sukkot, and it's just wonderful. I'm sitting outside. Look at this. I just put up my sukkah. Who's excited? It's going to be great. Oh, it's wonderful. But are you ready for some wisdom from Rabbi Raskas? Today is a doozy. We're excited. Okay, are you ready? Let's do it. Okay. This one's called A Code of Honor. This is the teaching for the 12th of Tishrei. Rabbi Raskas writes, Socrates was one of the wisest men who ever lived. He was accused by the city of Athens of corrupting the morals of the young because he was teaching values contrary to those held by the general public. He was tried, found guilty, and was sentenced to drink the poisoned cup of hemlock by his own hand. As Socrates was waiting in prison for the appointed day, a friendly jailer left the door unlocked. His disciples urged him to flee, but the reply which Socrates made over 2,000 years ago should still stir something noble within us. Socrates said, When I was a young man, he said, I studied Anaxagoras' book on physics, an earlier philosopher than Socrates. Yes, there was one. He would have me believe that I'm sitting in this crouched position on my prison cot because of the tensions in the tendons over the joints in my legs. But what Anaxagoras doesn't seem to know is that I sit here because I will not break the democratic law of Athens. The people have condemned me to death. Drink the hemlock. As a man of honor, I will not creep stealthily away like a coward. It was not the impersonal law of physics or nature that determined that Socrates should sit in prison. It was the code of honor for which he chose to commit himself. And he quotes this text in Avot, In a place where there are no men, strive to be a man. Avot 2:6. Oh man, this is a complicated teaching, my friend, and it's so. These are the teachings that I find so interesting because Rabbi Raskas just puts this teaching out here. Like, of course, Socrates was this honored person who stood in place and stayed in prison and accepted the death penalty unjustly, even though he could have escaped. And he seems to be saying that that's what honor is, and that's what we as Jews should do as well. But like Judaism and Talmud has like all these discussions about what we should accept the death penalty over, what we should accept death over, and what we shouldn't. And this seems to be a pretty clear situation where Judaism would probably say that Socrates should have escaped and he should have taken that exit. He was being killed unjustly. If you haven't read the Apologies or some of Plato's great writings on this and narration of this, according to Plato at least, the reason Socrates was sentenced to death was because he was falsely accused of corrupting the youth by asking questions, one of the most Jewish things in the world. And so, of course, Socrates was innocent of corrupting the youth. And I think Greek ideas say this is honor, right? To accept one's fate and to sort of walk the plank to one's death. I don't think Judaism would look at things this way. Judaism would say life is more important. That if Socrates had a chance to escape and he didn't do any actual crime where he really deserved this, he should walk away. We're not at the judgment of our fellow man, at the hands of the judgment of our fellow man. We're at the hands of the judgment of God and our Torah. This is, I think, something where Judaism would say you should have ran away, Socrates. And I've always read the story like, really? Like, this is like overly prideful at this moment for Socrates. How much more good could he have done if he lived longer and taught more? And so, I don't know where I want to try to find something I like about this teaching. I guess I like the fact of trying to be part of a larger community and sacrifice for a larger community and standing up for one's ideals. Obviously, I think that's what Rabbi Raskas is getting at. But I think this teaching is like problematic because it's suggesting something that as Jews we don't do. We don't just die for our ideals. And that's not considered sanctifying God's name unless it's a very, very refined circumstances. The Torah tells us to live by our mitzvot and not die by them. And for that reason, life is sacrosanct, even our own life. And we don't sacrifice ourselves on the altar for an ideal. We try to live no matter what, and Jews have done this for centuries and centuries and centuries. And I think that's what's made us survive in some ways so long, is that we try to be flexible if possible, and not just sacrifice our life willy nilly. If you have a different idea about this, do you agree with Socrates? Should he be accepted his death? Is this the Jewish teaching? Would Judaism, Torah agree with Socrates' choice? Let me know. But I think I disagree with Socrates' choice, and I think the Torah does too. But if I'm wrong, you tell me. Anyway, love these moments with you all. I hope we're all building our Sukkots and getting ready for the holiday, and I hope you're all doing well. Until next time, bye now.